Hello everyone, and welcome to our second training session of GraspOS. Here today, Leonidas Pispiringas from OpenAIRE Monitor will present the service OpenAIRE Monitor for 30 minutes, and after you have the chance to make some questions if you want to. So Leonidas, and now we'll share his screen.
Thank you. Thank you, Zenia, for the introduction. So, as Zenia has already introduced me, I'm Leonidas Pispiringas. I work for the OpenAIRE Monitor, and I'm the technical manager on the indicators for the institutional dashboards. Today's session will be a training, first glance of the OpenAIRE Monitor service. We will have a look on some general issues on monitoring research assessment and on OpenAIRE Monitor. And then we will follow up with a demo of the service. And we will also discuss a few of the data quality issues in order to have the best version of the dashboard with the more enhanced data from the OpenAIRE graph. Before I start my presentations, please, you can use the following code for Mentimeter in order to answer 3 questions. And we will discuss them and your answers during the presentation. Let me also put the voting link to the chat. So our first question on monitoring is why monitor? Why an institution should monitor its research output? We have separated in 3 parts on the institution by using the thyself word. First of all is to know for an institution to know thyself in order to identify the resources that are used for the research outputs production, to identify the number of the research outputs that the affiliated researchers produce, to have an open science uptake, and to understand it via the dashboards and the indicators, to identify the collaborations the researchers of the institution have with other institutions or countries, to understand and see the visibility of the institutions to the research landscape, and of course, the impact of the research production of the institution. And after knowing thyself, the next step is to understand thyself in order to find pathways, to gain insights, and also to find opportunities to have a better research production and better collaborations to improve also the visibility and its impact to the research landscape. And of course, the third part is to position thyself by assisting the research assessment assists on the decision-making of the strategic people inside the institution, the reporting by having various reports on the research production, the open science uptake, the research assessment, and of course it assists the institutions to have a storytelling about their research output, which is the #1 product that the institutions have for the world. So the second question is why use OpenAIRE Monitor? First of all, the answer is very simple. The most important one, that it's all about open science and open data. We have inclusiveness, transparency, and replicability through our service. Then we have full coverage of open science beyond publications, as we also cover dataset software and other research products. Of course, we have the linked science, where we have links between publications and research data and other research products. Additionally, in OpenAIRE Monitor, all the indicators that we have developed have been co-developed with all the stakeholders and the institutions that are involved and have a dashboard in the OpenAIRE Monitor service. And our goal is to have indicators that make sense to all. And of course, the OpenAIRE Monitor is fully embedded in the EOSC infrastructure, starting from the content providers and stating also through to the included metrics. How? What are the methodological principles of our service? First of all, it's openness and transparency. Everyone are openly and clearly presented. I want to excuse me only for 2 seconds. So can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sorry for this. So after the openness and transparency, we have the coverage and accuracy. Our indicators, the dashboards, are based on data that we collect from multiple authoritative data sources with proven AI-driven mechanisms. We use as a data source the OpenAIRE graph, and we will talk about this in the next slides. Clarity and replicability. All the indicators are well documented, verified, and are used by the scholarly communication community as they have been co-developed with the scholarly communication community. And of course, our service is hosted on a big data infrastructure with operational workflows, and this way we warrant timely results. So OpenAIRE Monitor uses as a data source, as a source of data, the OpenAIRE graph. The OpenAIRE graph is a basic service of OpenAIRE, and where we aggregate the research outputs from several data sources. And here we have a chart stating the pipeline, the OpenAIRE graph pipeline process, which goes through every month in order to produce a new OpenAIRE graph. And the pre-processing is conducted after the aggregation through enrichment by mining and by inference, the duplication processes and finalization processes in order to have the final product which is used also from third-party services and of course OpenAIRE's added value services as it is OpenAIRE Monitor. This is the coverage of the OpenAIRE graph. We have several data sources that we aggregate research products. And of course, this is a simple slide where we have the infrastructure that is hosted in University of Warsaw, where we host all our services. So, for the OpenAIRE Monitor, it is a dashboard on demand. We have dashboards for institutions, funders, research initiatives, and of course, we have countries. And for each dashboard, there is an OpenAIRE expert that is in contact and creates and interacts with all the organizations in order to create and have the dashboards. So we talked about dashboard on demand. What does dashboard on demand mean? Okay, let's start from the bottom and go through the top. As we have already stated, we have the OpenAIRE graph, where the research product the products of an organization are a subset of the OpenAIRE graph, which is a common global asset. Through the OpenAIRE graph, the OpenAIRE experts in OpenAIRE Monitor service have initiated community-led, in collaboration with the community, the scholarly communication community, dashboards of indicators on institutional openness, collaboration, SDG contribution, publication production, of course, and several other indicators, which we will see also in the demo. And then we create the default dashboard for the organizations. And after this, we interact with each organization, and we create their own truly dashboard that they can use with their teams. So the indicator themes we'll go through also on the demo. The basic themes are, of course, the research output, where we have publications, datasets, software, and other research products, broken down by the interdisciplinarity and field of science. The open science theme, where we have fairness the indicators on fairness, indicators on access rights and open access routes, journal business models, article processing charges, and planners indicators. We have metrics for indicators for the collaborations of the institutions via the participations in projects and via co-authorship or co-creation. And in the impact theme, we have the reach and frequency with the downloads and citations, and the sustainable development goals. In all the themes, the indicators are broken down by several fields of interest, and according to the respective theme, this field of interest include the research product type, domains, the field of science and technology, over time, of course, countries, by data sources, by funders, and several other fields of interest. Regarding the dashboards, the future of the OpenAIRE Monitor and the dashboards, we provide user-friendly dashboards where we have interactive visualizations, where you can zoom out, you can see the data that is used for the visualization. You can export them or to include them in a report or even a website. You can also download the data and the visualizations in different formats. We offer filtering capabilities, for example, filtering by year. We also offer browsing via direct links to OpenAIRE Explore, where we can see via the browse data the research products that are used to create the indicators. And of course, we provide partial editing of visualizations, where we can change things like the height, the width of the charts, or even the order of the charts. Of course, also you can control how you share your institutional dashboard. You have three options. You can have the themes and indicators in public, restricted, or private mode. Public mode is open to everyone. Restricted mode is only for team members, only for users that are registered with an account in your institutional dashboard. And this all is mostly used in order to check in the metrics and indicators with the inside team of the institutions, and indicators that you don't want to show publicly to everyone. And of course, there are also the private indicators. For example, indicators that are progress or you don't even want to share with any team member, and only the managers of the dashboards are able to view these indicators. All of these are customized and validated in one-to-one sessions with every expert of the institutional dashboards. In these one-on-one expert consultations, we discuss and finalize the dashboard, enhance the dashboard features, the editing and the user management. We get indicator feedback about the metrics and indicators. And also we can discuss and develop any custom indicators that you might want to have in your account. And of course, we discuss the data quality and the validation, the data sources that we use, and the duplication process of the organization, which we will talk about in a later slide. So before we go to the data quality issues, let's have a demo of the OpenAIRE Monitor service. In order to save time, I've left out the registration process, which is a very simple process where you just go to OpenAIRE or to the OpenAIRE Monitor website, and you just press the Get Started button and you get in contact with us. And then we start the process to create you a dashboard. So for the sake of this demo, we will use the dashboard of University of Minho. Let's go through the indicator themes, and then we will go to the admin menu to see the dashboard functionalities. First of all, we provide an overview theme where we have a few indicators stating the overview, the overall information about the institutions. And of course, if anyone wants to get deeper and see more indicators, we will go through all the other themes. We have numbers of the production, the research production of the institutions, number of publications, dataset software, and other research products. We also have a chart where we have the publications over time, and we compare all the publications which were here, they are as columns, to the peer-reviewed publications and the grant-supported publications. You can see also the interactivity as I scroll as I go through the mouse to all these filters. For example, we can remove the peer-reviewed all publications, and we have only grant-supported. And of course, there are also zoom capabilities for charts that you might want to see further details. We have data sets over time. We have the publication openness over time, where we have all the publications compared to the open access and the gold open access ones. The dataset openness. And we also have the top 20 collaborating organizations by number of co-authored publications. And we also provide the publications by fields of science and technology, the level 1 of field of science and technology over time, and the publications by sustainable development goals. Going through the funding theme, on the overview, we have the project participations and the European Commission project participations of the institution, the number of the participations of the institution. These project participations are broken down by funder in the next chart. Then are broken down by the framework program and over time. We have framework FP7, Horizon 2020, and Horizon Europe. We also have the top projects by the number of the peer-reviewed publications, the top projects by number of datasets, by number of software, and number of other research products, respectively. We have a timeline of project participations. We have the grant-supported publications broken down by the fields of science, the level 1 fields of science, and also broken down by funder of the grant-supported publications. and also broken down by framework program and over time. In the easy projects by framework program, we have more detailed indicators for each framework programs. For FP7, we have the project participations broken down over time and also by program. For the Horizon 2020, we have the number of the project participations. We have the total project funding. Here we can note that this amount includes the entire budget of the project, and it's not only for the institution's allocated budget. These indicators we are about to build these indicators in the next months. So we have the project participation broken down by pillar. We have the top 15 programs. We have the total project funding by pillar and the top 15 programs by total project funding. And of course, we have the highest funded projects, the top 15 highest funded projects by total project funding. And we're currently building the indicators for the Horizon Europe. In the research output theme, we have the publications, dataset, software, and other research products. We will go through the publications theme, where we have the number of publications broken down by type, where we have normalized. We have the article, book and book chapter, conference object, thesis, and all the other types normalized. We have the publications over time, a combination of type and over time, a timeline of the publications by type. We have the top 15 data sources by number of publications. The top 15 data sources where we collect from which we collect publications affiliated to the institution. We have the share of projects that produced publications, comparing all the projects participations of the institutions to the ones that have produced publications for each year. We also have the most productive projects by the number of publications, and also we are breaking down the publications by the fields of science, the level 1 fields of science, and also the levels 1 and 2 of fields of science and technology. And here you can also see the interactivity, where we can zoom and see more details for columns that are not shown in the initial zoom level of the chart. Similarly, we have indicators for the peer-reviewed publications. I will not go through with them because they are the same. One difference is that here we have the top 15 publishers with a number of produced peer-reviewed publications, and of course the top 30 journals by the number of peer-reviewed publications. So, going to the open science theme. First of all, we have a few composite indicators where we have the percentage, the openness, findability, and fairness score as a proportion, and also the proportion over time. For the publications, on the open access section, we have several indicators with the access rights of the publications, where we have the publications by access rights, and also by the timeline by access rights over time, where we have the open access publications, the embargoed, restricted, closed access, and the ones that we were not able to have any information from the data sources that we have collected them. We also break down the publications by access rights and by funder. Here's another chart where you can also zoom in to see the publications by funder. On the open access route section, we have the publications by open access route. Here I want to state that for the definition of the open access routes, we use the unpaywall definitions, and all of these are documented in the resources menu and in the methodology, the terminology, and of course, each one of the indicators is documented in the indicators and the research institutions page. You can see a detailed breakdown for each theme and for each indicator. Continuing, we have the publication by open access routes over time. This is a very interesting chart where we present the published versus the deposited, the green open access publications over time, where we have the open access publications that are published in a publisher, the open access publications that exist in a repository, the green open access, and the open access publications that both exist in a repository and are published in a publisher. For example, the preprint versions that in many institutions, the researchers deposit them in their institutional repository. And we have the top journals by the number of gold, hybrid, bronze, and green open access publications, respectively. And of course, the breakdown by fields of science. I will leave the collaborations. I will go through quickly the collaborations where we have the collaborations by country, where we have the number of collaborations and the top 20 collaborating organizations. By the number of project collaborations and via co-authorship and co-creations, we have the number of co-authored publications, the top 20 collaborating organizations by the number of co-authored publications, and broken down by country additionally. And in the impact theme, in the reach and frequency section, we have indicators on the downloads, where we have the total downloads and the average downloads per publication. Here, in the average, we calculate the average only for publications that have at least one download. And we break them down over time by the year of the publication, the year that the publication was published, and also over time by the year that the year of the download of the publication. We have the total downloads over time by access rights, by access route. These are the year by year, the year of download. By abstract availability, the ones that have abstract and the ones that are not. We also have the top 15 journals by number of publication downloads from repositories, because these downloads are mostly come from repositories that connect, that are registered in OpenAIRE and have installed the OpenAIRE plugin so that we retrieve the downloads. We have the most downloaded fields of science and the breakdown by fields of science. And respectively for the citations, you have the total citations and the average citations per publication, but also broken down by time. We provide also the year of the publication here, and of course, the year of download in the next charts. until these charts load, let me go back to the Open Science theme in the publications section and check also the journal business models section, where we have the open access publication by journal business model, where we have the full open access publication with APCs, the diamond open access publications, and the ones that exist in a transformative journal. And of course, we have also the top 15 full open access with the APCs, diamond, and the ones that are in transformative journals. For the article processing charges, at this time, all the indicators include, for the APCs, include publications that have at least an affiliated co-author. These APCs are not the ones that are paid by the institution. It is a process that we are about to add these indicators according to the reports that the institutions will have in OpenAPC. We have total APCs and average APCs per publication over time, also broken down by fields of science, by open access routes, and of course we have the top 15 journal by total APCs and by average APCs per publication. So let me go back to the presentation because I think that we have passed the time to continue and discuss a few things about the data quality and the validation. There are two important steps for all the institutions that need to take after we create the institutional dashboard, and of course in a one-on-one session with us. First one is to disambiguate their organization in the OpenORCS platform of OpenAIRE, where you need to deduplicate the organization names, as an organization, an institution might appears with different names, and this happens according to the data source that OpenAIRE aggregates metadata. And of course, you also need to identify any parent-child relationships regarding departments, schools, or other parts of your institution. And the second step is to provide and register your data sources, your institutional data sources, any repositories, any open access journals or CRIS systems you have at your institution. By registering and validating your data sources in OpenAIRE Provide, you enhance the data quality of the institutional dashboard. This is a simple screenshot from the OpenORCS platform, where we can see for University of Minho in the bottom of the screenshot the different names that this institution appears according to the different data sources that we have aggregated metadata. And as we already said, why register your repository in OpenAIRE? Apart from enhancing the data quality of your dashboard, you ensure that the open access publications from your repository are accurately reflected, and you facilitate the comprehensive coverage in OpenAIRE Monitor. The prerequisites to register your repository in OpenAIRE: first of all, you need to expose your metadata records via the OAI PMH protocol and comply with the latest version 3 or version 4 of the OpenAIRE guidelines. The benefits: you have visible and richer content. You gain insights from detailed usage statistics through the OpenAIRE Monitor and also through OpenAIRE Provide dashboard. You have the option to enrich the metadata of your repository records, as we have the ability via the OpenAIRE broker to provide you with enriched metadata for the records of your repository, as we may find richer metadata from other sources that we collect research products. You can simplify open access compliance, promote effortless content dissemination via our services. We have the linked science. You can have links from to several research products. There is an up-to-date collection. Of course, everything will be fully embedded in the EOSC infrastructure, and this will help to have accurate and qualitative metrics. And before I close this presentation, let me state that OpenAIRE has been awarded this year the contract as a result from an open public tender to develop a national open access monitor based on public open data to analyze and track the progress towards 100% open access for Ireland. We're in the process of creating this dashboard, and of course, one of the parts of the dashboards that will be part of the National Open Access Monitor of Ireland will be the institutional dashboards, the research performing organizations dashboard. Thank you for your time.
So thank you, Leonidas, for delivering this presentation. I think in the presentation, this description of the dashboard of University of Minho was very helpful for us to understand what the OpenAIRE Monitor is capable of. So I want now to, for our audience, if you have any questions, so please feel free to raise your hand or submit it into the chat about the OpenAIRE Monitor. Thank you. So anyone?
So until someone have a question, let's go through the Mentimeter questions and the answers received.
Just a minute, Leonidas. Inge has a question, so.
Yeah,
Inge.
hi, Leonidas.
Hi.
Hello. I was just
Hello.
wondering, thank you for this presentation. I was just wondering the figures that you give investments in projects, so these budgets. Maybe I just haven't heard it well. Where do they come from? Because that's something that institutions not easily share. Is it from the EC themselves, or where do you get these figures?
They come from European Commission, from Corda.
Yeah.
I can give you the list of the detailed data sources, but I think the base data source that we receive is
Okay.
the Corda platform from the European Commission.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And of course also from funders that provide information about the projects.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one question in the chat, if you can see it, Leonidas.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, you can contact us in order to see we have the option through OpenAIRE Connect service to have a community in OpenAIRE, and through OpenAIRE Connect service we can also have a dashboard for the UArctic network. But please get in touch with us in order to discuss further details, as we need some information about you and collaboration in order to set this up.
Yeah, so this is something that we are already doing. When there are such a big organization that have more than one universities, we usually create a connect, so a community dashboard. And then basically the indicators are the same of the monitor for institutions, but in that case we measure the network openness indicators. Thank you.
Now
Okay.
from the chat, if you see the next question, Leonidas.
Yes, regarding the deduplication process through the OpenAIRE platform. As in OpenAIRE, we collect the metadata records from the data sources, we also collect the affiliations. These affiliations might come for each institution with different names. We keep them separately in the OpenAIRE platform, and the administrator of the organization can see the proposed names that the platform have initiated them as duplicates and state that it is indeed a duplicate. This name is for this for my institution. It cannot be fully automated because there are parts where an institution is not an institution name is not the same, though the name might be similar. That's why we don't have it automated, and we have also training sessions for the administrators of the institutions to use the OpenAIRE platform. And yes, the dashboard can work also for small research organizations. As long as we have research products and research output, of course it works.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we can see the results from the Menti.
Okay. So for regarding the first question, as we see, most of you answered that you are aware. You have the research monitoring and assessment activities inside your institution, but you lack awareness of the specifics, followed by the ones that are well informed about the specifics, and the third option is for the ones that are not aware of your institution's engagement in research monitoring. In order to have a dashboard, it would be good if you handle the responsibility to have a dashboard in OpenAIRE Monitor, also to get aware about the specifics of the activities of your institutions. And maybe you can organize the team that run these activities inside your institution in order to be part of the dashboard of your institution. So, regarding the indicator themes, at the first place we have the impact indicators, followed by the funding and research output production. And then we have the open science and the collaboration. Okay, I believe that all the themes are important for a qualitative research assessment and monitoring of your institution's research output. Fields, publication type, and year. And on the additional metrics that you would like to see included for the institutional dashboard, we see OS metric, open science metrics that are not about publications. Okay. For now, we also provide metrics for research data, software, and other research products, but if we can discuss in detail any metrics that you could propose to have. Research data, okay. We also provide metrics for research data. Citizen science activities, this is very interesting metric. We will keep it, note it down, and investigate it. And normalized indicator by research fields, publication type, and the year. This time we have the field of science and technology broken down. We have the publication types and also the year. And also we have some indicators regarding fairness, but we are on the process of improving these indicators. Okay, so
do we have any other questions? Or so I will send here to the chat a link for a feedback form. So if you can give us some your thoughts. So I will send it in this tomorrow maybe or something. So if there is any question, we can end this session. So thank you all for participating in this training event, and thank you, Leonidas, again for your valuable contribution. Happy holidays. Yes. Thank you all.
Thank you.